All right, hello, everybody. Yo, everyone.
So,
Hello.
Hi.
This is,
thank
whoa, that
thank
was
you, Mark.
that was like extra quiet. Like if I could like do a Photoshop edit, like you'd be like a pixel.
Frank,
All right, let's
uh,
start it off. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Justin,
Mark,
Mark, you kill me every time you do that. I love it.
you're welcome.
And I'm Philip.
and you're watching and or listening to episode 465 DangIT Prodcast. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a week. It's been certainly a week. First of all,
Yeah.
I just want to report it's super hot now.
Oh,
Summertime has rolled through, and well, it's
summer,
currently.
summer,
And
summertime.
yeah, I was out today, and it was just like, even though I was like in my car, just the moments of just like walking about like outside, I was just like,
You're just
Oh,
like,
God,
I
no.
just stayed inside.
I woke up to it. I was like, mm-mm.
oh no, I'm just
And I
thinking about
walked out and immediately turned on the fan. I was like, nope,
not today.
not today, Satan.
I was actually okay, like, but then I started thinking about Comic-Con. And I was
Oh
like,
my God.
well, first of all, I was like, yes, I'm excited to go this time, but I'm like, in this heat, ooh, it's gonna be rough.
Ooh,
Which
that
reminds
doesn't
me,
sound
yeah,
fun,
but
it sounds fun.
good luck to anyone who's going to AX right now.
I would love to, I just didn't have the money.
I understand that. I was thinking about it, but like, I would rather have gone like in a group for that type of thing.
Same. Same.
Yeah. Well,
I got
maybe
a
we'll.
lot of homies that went.
Oh, go. Are they sending like pics in like your chat or something like that?
No, they're just talking about it. I was lucky. Like one of them did. And I was like, you lucky bitches.
Oh yeah, I guess there is something I wanted to talk about. It's regarding Inti crates like over there, but we'll get there when we get there. Unless we want to just talk about like
Integrate's gonna be. Oh yeah, they are, huh?
Yeah,
With that new game.
yeah. I guess I'll go ahead and jump into that. Yeah, I think this is probably a really smart move on their end to feature someone, I guess, like who I'm like Love Live, I believe that was called. I
Yes.
Yeah. So like it's kind of like a spin-off of like that series, but put into like a 2D like platform. Seems to be like more of like Castlevania-esque type of game. And I was like, that's really smart. Because you're really just grabbing an entire community from there to get them interested.
Well, yeah, Love Live's got a huge fan base.
Yeah. So yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It was
I was
smart.
gonna say the game looks sick though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm no cap. I have no knowledge of this anime. I'm gonna be real with you. The game looks really cool.
Cute
Like
girls
it's
singing.
2D. Wait, I'm sorry.
It's just cute girls singing.
Oh, all right. Well, that's fine. 2D Metroidvania with cute girls singing. I'm cool with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you had me a 2D Metroidvania, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going on over there. There's probably a couple other things. We talked about Bandai Namco like earlier. They're gonna have a showcase earlier or later today, and I hope to live stream that as well. Probably separate from the podcast.
DangIT.
That's Mark. That's actually on the money. What I was gonna say. I think it's gonna be at least small gameplay of Budokai Tenkaichi 4. That's like the next big Dragon Ball game.
Mm-hmm.
The only other Dragon Ball content
Also, you
I
bring
can
my
see
suit. How's it
personally
going?
is
DLC.
no. I was gonna say the next gen versions of Dragon Ball Fighters, PS5, PS4, or PS5 and Series X.
I would expect Kakarot DLC, honestly.
I mean, they could just be like, "Hey, Shadow Drop update today," and then that way, everybody who owns the PS4 or Xbox One copies gets a free upgrade.
Hmm.
That would be cool because that's supposed to be the version that has rollback netcode. They're not going to update the original versions to have the rollback anymore. It's going to be these new versions at 120 hertz, whatever. Yeah.
Ooh, 120.
So-
ooh. But rollback.
Yeah.
Uh?
So that'd be cool. I mean, my personal want is Dragon Ball Fighters 2. I ain't gonna get that today. But Budokai Tenkaichi 4.
As much as I would love that, it would.
Alright,
As much as I would love that, it doesn't have the same oh my fucking god as Tenkaichi 4 has.
Ooh.
Hmm.
You know, I'm gonna disagree with you, dog. Fighters is the number one best-selling fighting game, period.
You're not wrong, but Phil, the legacy of
There's definitely like the fan base there.
I get it. But also,
was hyped.
Tenkaichi's not like okay.
I was hyped for fighters. I really was.
Let me.
But when I saw Tenkaichi 4, I told you I was pounding my desk and screaming.
I don't know. I don't want to be that guy and say that. Let me put this into a better way.
Okay.
Budokai Tenkaichi is one of the most popular fighting games, but it's not like a competitive one.
I mean,
and so
I mean,
realistically,
it's not in the normal fighting game sense. You're not wrong on that.
I was like, realistically, nowadays in like fighting games, nobody cares unless it's esports ready. Unfortunately, I like. Don't get me wrong. I want to play Budokai Tenkaichi 4. It looks great. A little bit of detail. I was like,
Both of you two assume that they aren't going to find a way to make this competitive because they made old Budokai Tenkaichi competitive.
Oh, they probably did, and honestly, I'm pretty sure they played an Anime Evo, but which is like a side tournament that happens there, and they have like smaller like TV setups. It's really funny, and also I'm assuming they like. I'm not dumb. I'm sure they bring like anime arena style fighting games to Evo as like free play, because fighting the word and
Don't worry,
like,
Brent.
name
We'll
or genre
touch up on your
fighting
little bit,
game
chat.
is so subjective. Like, what is a fighting game? Right? It's 1v1 or 2v2 or somebody punching somebody. Like you know what I mean?
Correct.
It's not necessarily like, oh, we have different styles of fighting games. There's the anime arena fighting game.
Mhm.
There's the competitive like arcade style fighting game, which is like Street Fighter, King of Fighters. There's the tag team, the team-based fighting games like Marvel vs. Capcom, Dragon Ball Fighters. There's platform fighters like Smash Brothers, Nickelodeon All Stars, like that kind of stuff. That's where it starts to get dicey, because then what's a wrestling game technically?
Oh, huh. Never even thought about that.
I think Maximilian Dude did a really good breakdown, because he was like, why is Def Jam Fight for New York considered a top 10 fighting game like for casuals? And then he was like, oh well, it's a wrestling game. And then he actually live streamed that whole game. It was pretty funny.
It was hype as hell.
I don't know how he got away with the copyright stuff, but
that's not us for dabble to dabble in.
But I don't know. What I guess the argument here is, what would be hyper, fighters or Budokai Tenkaichi 4? You're not wrong. Budokai Tenkaichi 4 would be fucking hype.
It was hype.
I mean, it would be hype to actually see it in motion. Like, that's what I want to see.
We get to see that brief shot at the end of the first trailer, which was already just
Yeah.
Got Ghost Hand in the chat saying he wants a new Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. Yo, same. Shaolin Monks is a really good spinoff. Best Mortal Kombat spinoff, period. So,
just to jump off of what Ibrahim was saying about just cons and whatnot, I do remember this like this past week about, was it Blizzard? What was their convention called? I think it's just
BlizzCon?
called BlizzCon.
BlizzCon.
Yeah. And apparently tickets are
$600. That's disgusting.
That's sickening.
For what? Diablo Immortal updates? All right, this is where I leave, guys. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Damn. I was even looking into like the perks, and like honestly, it's such a huge gap between like, I guess, the initial tier and like the next tier over. I mean, they better like
you know, I just don't know who would pay $600 to go to BlizzCon when in reality nothing's happening at Blizzard right now, other than because they just launched Diablo 4.
Mhm.
I mean, Overwatch 2 is Overwatch 2. I'm not gonna talk about that. I mean, when was the last World of Warcraft expansion? Do they still make those?
They still make those.
Is that still a thing?
I'm not entirely sure.
They do still make those. Like,
okay.
It wasn't too terribly long ago, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I wanted to make sure. Okay. Okay, cool. What about StarCraft? They done anything StarCraft lately?
I have a friend. My friend David would have a lot to say about that, because he said he's getting upset that they're not doing anything with StarCraft.
Okay, so they just haven't. Got it. You answered my question.
Savage.
Yeah. Well, what was that one fantasy game that's supposed to be happening?
Is that them?
Yeah, it's them. That's Blizzard.
Huh. I'm gonna have to look into that.
I mean, I'm not crazy, right? Like, this is real. Like,
It's not WoW at all.
no, it's not WoW.
All right.
Like,
I don't know. I see Diablo, WoW, Diablo, Overwatch, Diablo, Hearthstone, Diablo.
Didn't they shut down
Hearthstone. There you go. What are
Oh?
they doing with that?
Didn't they shut down Hearthstone?
Good question.
All right.
People still play that. It looks like fun. I'm happy for them.
All right. Well,
I wanted to jump back into Bandai Namco real quick. Scarlet Nexus 2. That's all I'm asking for. Please. Please. I'm
Laura in the chat saying hello. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, please, Scarlet Nexus 2. Please.
Oh,
Please.
man.
Please.
Honestly, if we're not talking Dragon Ball, there's apparently a rumor going around about a Tales of Arise project that is a game. It's not the anime.
Or say,
I don't
an
know.
expansion?
Either an expansion or a sequel. I mean, that's not unheard of. Tales of Symphonia has a sequel.
I know it is, but it's also like this would be considered very fast for a Tales game in production.
I guess so. Yeah, they don't really do it immediately.
If it's just using the same engine.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
if they just feel like they're trying to use the same engine, then yeah, I guess you could do that.
Yeah.
It's like
They used to have like their own proprietary engine, but now they're using Unreal. So, not sure if that helps with the process.
You want to know the only reason I'm not like I don't want to 100% bet on Dragon Ball being there? It's because we got Sandland.
You want to know why
Sandland.
You want to know why it's still going to be there?
Here, Laura, I'll go ahead and drop you the Discord.
Mark?
Why would they not bring the most popular anime in the entire West to the biggest anime convention there is?
You know, maybe just because they're not ready to show Budokai Tenkaichi 4. Maybe they're ready. Maybe Sandland is their big Toriyama project, and that's why they don't want to intervene marketing with like. Okay, let me rephrase that. They don't want to intervene the fact that they both have the same art style. So why confuse people? I understand that Dragon Ball is the bigger popular one, but I'm assuming they want to put all their marbles in the Sandland.
Certainly looks promising. I hope to see a little bit more.
They could. However, I don't see that as the most likely scenario.
Well, okay, look, when we're talking about Bamco being there, right? Like, we're not talking about Ridge Racer, and we're not talking Armored Core footage being there, or like an Elden Ring expansion.
Is definitely going to be there.
Armored Core is not going to be there. That's not anime.
Oh no, wait, you're right. I thought about that. I was thinking just games in general for a second.
No. Yeah, we got to remember this is a presentation at Anime Expo.
And of course, if that rumored Jump project they've been working on is a thing,
I forgot about that. I honestly, there you go. That's the 100% bet.
Because there was a rumor about that.
No, yeah, there's a lot of smoke to that rumor. Honestly, I forgot about that. That's my bet. I'm pretty sure that's the big one. I don't see in a world where that's not an Anime Expo. So, not entirely sure.
E3 was good.
E3 was good in air quotes. I mean, yeah, for what it was this year, yeah, it was good. There was a lot of good stuff. Mario Wonder had me crying. Anyways.
Man, that was a crazy time for you.
That was Mark, that was a direct for me. For me,
I know that was a direct for you. I was sitting there, I was like, well, Phil's losing his shit right now.
Yeah, that was a direct specifically for me. I know I almost went off last week and I had to cut off before Mario Wonder. Just know, just for the quick summary, that's the 2D Mario I wanted since 2006.
That's crazy, Automod. Anyway.
So that is the Mario game I have wanted since 2006, since New Super Mario Brothers for DS.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Wonder has the actual legit personality, the look for it to be a new Mario. I'm really excited. Are there concerns? I mean, this is a Nintendo game, so I'm concerned about difficulty being too easy or something. But I feel like that's what the Wonder things are for. Like it'll add a lot of challenge. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
Mario games have been a little bit too easy lately, but there have been some parts where I was like, oh damn, all right, I gotta try that again.
Yeah, and there's always usually like post game, if not end of the game type of stuff, where like they really challenge you. So
there's always that secret world at the end of the game.
Yeah, like
I think the Mario game that I put the most amount of time into was probably 64.
Let's go to okay. All right.
That's a damn good game. That game actually does have difficult parts though.
I know. I was gonna say it wasn't exactly easy.
No, that game is not exactly easy. If you're going for the 100%, yeah, that game is tonka tough. If you're not going for the 100%, I mean, yeah, it can get hard sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that anything from the Little Big Island to the end of the game, that's it. That difficulty shoots through the roof. I can't stand those levels. I can't stand Little Big Island. I can't stand Clockwork.
Oh, Clockwork, dude.
I don't remember what it's called.
But I get you.
Yeah, I can't stand the clock level, and I especially cannot stand Rainbow Ride.
Oh
my god. I dread that that's the last level in the game every time. It gets me. I forget every time.
Oh god, dude.
Son of a bitch. Every time. Like, even the Bowser level is not as hard as Rainbow Ride, dude. That's crazy.
This is true. I think the issue with that, well, I mean, this is not going to be a deep dive into 64, but that's definitely, like, it's the antithesis of everything like Mario, which is, like, active, like, platforming.
Yeah.
You're just waiting.
Pretty much. It's like, that is the idea of taking a 2D concept and throwing it in 3D, but then it doesn't work right, because it's still early 3D.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that perfect blend doesn't happen till Mario 3D Land on 3DS.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to bring up 3D Land because I was remembering like how easy it was like early game, but like the post game stuff was definitely like a twist on that. And then of course there was the secret level, which took a while for me to master. Just like in the beginning portions, like that platform is pretty precise.
Yeah, at first I was a little disappointed with 3D Land when I bought it. I beat it in a day. I bought it, picked it up in the morning, and by like late afternoon I was already done. And this is me picking up all of the collectibles, like all the star coins. So I was like, I mean, it was good, but then it opened up to where it doubles the amount of worlds, and those worlds are actually difficult. So I was like, oh, gotcha. Okay. So it's gonna screw me right now. Got it. So 3D Land's good. 3D World though. That game got some tough levels. No cap. No cap whatsoever.
But yeah, they're
Mario Dark Souls.
I mean, yeah. They're really unforgiving in that aspect.
I mean, what would be consider some of the hardest Mario levels? I mean, like, I know that Rainbow Ride is agreed, like, that's probably the hardest level in Mario 64.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you anything about the Galaxy games. Usually it should be, like, the last, like, secret level.
You know what? Yeah, fuck that last level in Galaxy 2. But, like, the second star. The first star is fine. It's the second star where they make you do it with one hit. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That could go to hell, like... That level's dumb.
How'd you feel about Odyssey's like secret level? I thought that was challenging, but I didn't think it was like too infuriating.
Yeah, it was a good challenge, but it wasn't. Man, I'm gonna throw this controller kind of challenge. Like it was like, fine.
It wasn't, in the words of one of my friends, you weren't gonna rip your nose hairs out.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Wasn't like that at all, actually. I wouldn't call it a disappointing either because it was actually a really fun level. It's just. There are parts where I was like, there are parts where I was like, man, I'm getting a little frustrated, but I was like, hold on, what if I do this and it worked? I guess that's probably because of the mechanics of that game in general. It's like, oh, it allows you to move Mario in different ways that you couldn't do before. Like you're able to just throw the hat, do the bounce, and then jump off while popping off into something else. And,
that's true.
Like a combo.
It really
Pretty
was.
much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That was an actual meta thing in the game, and it really helps you a lot. Yeah, 3D World though, their soundtrack, it's really nice, very nice.
The Boo level in 3D World's music, oh my god. I was also gonna say, speaking of difficult Mario levels, just the Lost levels in general. That game can that game can go fuck off. That's like the worst Mario game.
But the game can go fuck right off.
I mean, no, I got nothing nice to say about that game. Fuck that game. It's bad. It's good. It's a good game in compared to other games out there, but man, I always like think back to when they said that they didn't give us that game because they thought Americans wouldn't be able to handle the difficulty.
Not Mystic Quest.
And you know what? You're probably right. I don't even think it's the hardest game in the world. But like thinking back in the day, yeah, I could probably see a lot of people not liking that game because of difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of a smart choice to bring what we know as Mario 2 now instead. Kind of a very smart choice. Besides, that game kind of pushes platformers more than the other one does. So
are we sorry, I was like responding to Ibrahim. Are we talking as far as game of the year, anyone? Are we talking about like our current ones like right now? Because
current game of the year, that's easy. Zelda.
It's Zelda. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Zelda. It's easy. I don't think there's a single game right now that holds a candle to it. I mean, look, I can talk about games that I feel like can be part of the conversation for sure. Final Fantasy 16.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good segue into that real quick.
Yeah.
I just started it this morning, and let me just say, goddamn, you can definitely tell the director of Devil May Cry 5 is working on that game.
The combat is very, very similar.
Yeah.
The combat is nothing like 15. The combat is very hack and slash more than it is an RPG, and I'm okay with that. I wanted that. It feels good. It definitely also feels like a Platinum and Kingdom Hearts game. So those teams working on that game makes sense. There's moments where I'm like, oh, this is totally a Platinum game with like the parries and the perfect dodges. And then when you're hacking and slashing, it's like, wow, I feel like I'm playing Devil May Cry. But then you're looking at item menus and shortcuts, and you're like, what? This is straight up Kingdom Hearts. So it's like the best of all these different action games into one single like game, and I love it. It's really good so far. The story is a lot crazier than I thought. I won't go into details. I thought it was going to be more subtle because I guess that's on me, right? Because I saw the old English, the old fantasy style.
I was thinking the game looked dark as shit.
I knew it looked dark, but I didn't know how dark it was gonna get.
Are we talking about like theming, or are we talking about like visually? Because you could be both.
I knew you were gonna say lighting or some shit.
It's gonna be both. It's gonna be both. There are parts where I'm like, damn.
I can't
see.
Beautiful,
it's a beautiful dark though. Like it's like okay,
I guess so.
The
Yeah.
lighting makes sense. I'm personally playing the game in quality mode, not even playing in performance.
Whoa. Okay.
I found performance to be a little too choppy for me in this game. It doesn't sit well in 60s at all. As a matter of fact, I think what was it? Digital Foundry did a good video on it. The battles are all in 60 frames, but once the battle ends, it drops.
That makes a lot of sense because I couldn't really tell.
They knew the priority.
The priority was to make sure that the battles were the best part. So, in my opinion, I wanted everything to look smooth. So I'm playing 30, and you know what?
Does it work?
It's pretty damn smooth in 30 frames. I still feel like I have total control.
That's good.
Like 30 frames has never been a bad thing. It's just that people are so spoiled now by 60.
Well, that's gonna be very hard. I don't think you were here for that episode where we discussed Starfield's frame rate.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, I think the trade-off. I agree with what somebody said. I think the trade-off is honestly like I know there's a director of God of War. Yeah,
Cory Barlog, yeah.
He said like, oh no, that absolutely makes 1,000% sense.
No, my problem is the only reason we're getting games that are 60 frames, 30 frames, like the performance and quality modes, is because those games are still being built on previous gen consoles. So of course the next gen versions are gonna have 60 frames like modes. The problem with Final Fantasy 15 is it feels like a game that they built with PS5 and next gen in
16.
mind. I said 16, right?
Because when you said 15?
Final Fantasy 16.
Okay.
We're just gonna clarify right now. 16 feels like a game.
Bill?
Yeah, we're gaslighting me. I don't know. No, that's me. Don't do that.
Yeah, no, we don't do that.
No.
We don't do that there. Except for Naya. We'll totally gaslight him.
Naya, we can totally gaslight Naya. I don't care. And Naya says it's not an anime expo. I'll be like, what are you talking about? I saw it yesterday.
That'd be so wild.
Anybody here, he's one of the people we can guarantee would be there.
I know. He gaslit me. When I asked him, I was like, "You're at the expo?" No, he said nope, and I'm like, "What do you mean? You're there like every year."
He's like, yeah.
Anyways, 16 feels like a game they built for next gen, and then last minute they were like, "Well, can we run it at 60?" And then try to put a 60 frames mode in there. I don't recommend performance mode in that game at all. I think quality mode is just fine. I think it works just fine. I will say though, y'all
for Survivor for me, it worked just fine in the
quality
mode.
That's cool to have those two takes on two different games.
Isn't Survivor a next gen only game as well?
Yeah.
Interesting. I feel like that game also probably was developed for next gen, and then they were like, "Well, can we run a 60 frames mode?"
And they're like,
when you get
kinda.
When you start getting the thing is, we're starting to see finally, like this is what I wanted, like actual next gen exclusive games. You know, PS5, Series X games. At this point, everybody, we're gonna have to start remembering that frame rates are gonna have to tone down for those quality. So, like,
it's true.
We're not gonna get those different kinds of modes. That's why Starfield is at 30 frames only. That's fine.
It's just so fucking big.
Oh no, but you should see the Sony ponies upset that it's not running 60. It's not running 60. No good.
I know. But it's that thing, it doesn't matter the explanation you give them, whether it makes sense of like, do you realize how fucking big this thing is? And if you try to do that, how much it's gonna take?
There are games where I agree 60 frames needs to be the standard because that's just the kind of game you need reactive times.
You need that in like multiplayer FPS.
Exactly. Multiplayer FPS games like Redfall. Redfall should have been 60. You need to be able to react on that because you're playing with your friends. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Whereas something like Starfield, it's a single player RPG. You're going to be fine at 30 frames, dog. That's what it's for. It's supposed to be cinematic.
Mm-hmm.
So,
multiplayer FPS, you absolutely need all the frames. However, if it's not a multiplayer FPS, shut the fuck up.
Pretty much, yeah. I'll take that. That's a good way to put it. But honestly, yeah, 16 is really good, dude. Final Fantasy 16 has been really fun so far. I'm not super far. I want to put more time into it, but I'm getting close to the tail end of Zelda, so I really want to finish it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So that's why I haven't really been playing 16.
That's fair.
I dabbled in it.
You only recently got it, so.
Yeah, I only recently got it. So, but I also like my progress with Zelda is that before I roll credits, I'm gonna have every shrine done.
Oh wow, yeah.
That and I'm going to have every light route done. So I'm still exploring the depths. I have about 80 something light routes out of 120. I'm getting close. As for shrines, I'm at 100. I think I'm close to 120, but there's 120 on the ground, 36 in the air or in the sky. So I have 120 throughout both of those. So it's not complete just yet.
Gotcha.
So we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm just kind of zooming through these shrines now.
I guess I can provide some input on 16. No spoilers or anything like that. But I've hit that that second time skip because this is not spoilers to anyone. But you know, Clive has his story being told through 3 different periods of his life.
Eras, yeah.
Yeah, when he's 15, when he's 28, and now when he's 33. And I just hit that time skip. And what they do with the story is pretty straightforward, with a little bit of an underlying, like, there's something else going on here that none of us are really aware of except for certain characters here and there. The usual, like, or like thing for RPG and JRPGs as a whole. Combat is pretty solid, but I will tell you, it doesn't really like change too much. It's just essentially like once you have like the first like icon power, which I mean, obviously, technically speaking, it is a phoenix in that case, but yeah, it's just about applying more and more stuff to that, like more icons being more like abilities to use like in the middle of like fighting. And
yeah, I noticed that you're going to be able to change icons on the fly between 3 that you set, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. Because I noticed that in the menu, and I was like, oh, I like to tinker around in the menu first.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at everything, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
This is going to be a thing, yeah.
So the really cool thing is being able to use like 2 like special abilities from icons and maybe mix match them here and there. Possibly to a certain point that even I don't really comprehend yet, but it's just about like experimenting a little bit and seeing what kind of like chains well with each other, and so that's kind of like the bread and butter with this.
So what you're telling me is the style changes in Devil May Cry 5. Am I correct or am I correct? I need to make sure.
I mean, if the shift in tones in like the OSTs during icon fights is an indicator of like how they want to like style it up a little bit, then yes.
Oh, I will say something about the icon fight. I only did the one, right?
Oh,
but
yeah.
From what I know, the icon fights are all different styles of action.
Kind of, yeah.
That's very Platinum Games. Like that's very much like, hey, we're gonna throw this at you. Hope to God you figure it out like right there and then.
I like them as just like spectacle things. Like they're not meant to be like super challenging per se.
No, yeah.
Just instead, I just look at them as ooh, pretty.
It's more like just kind of taking in like the pure destruction that these 2 like titans, for lack of better words, even though there's literally a titan in this one.
Also, apparently there's a specific icon fight that like is overheating PS5s.
Oh shit!
I think is that just the case for like everyone just running the game for a long period of time?
You know, I would like to assume that because like there's no way.
I think it's hilarious if someone just started their PS5 fresh and it just fucking starts boiling.
See, I don't think that's the problem. I think it's just people not like taking care of their PlayStation.
Like...
But it's funnier to think it's what I'm saying.
No, it is funnier to just like assume you just imagine you were like the only reason you're buying a PS5 is Final Fantasy 16. You bought the bundle. You bought the one that comes with the game. You download that sucker, you're playing it, and all of a sudden your PS5 stops and then it gives you the message, hey, your PS5's hot, turn it off.
That's wild.
I don't. Apparently it's a specific icon fight. I don't know, and it only happens in quality mode, which is the mode I'm playing. So
wait, I can't wait to report back.
Yeah, I would let you know if I go through that game and experience that. Because it doesn't break your PS5, mind you. It's not going to brick it, but it definitely is going to make you have to stop playing it and unplug it for a little bit.
Yeah, maybe like plug it in like through the fridge.
Be careful. Be careful. If you have certain faulty things, something can happen. I have a scorch mark on my wall from there.
Ooh, yeah. The Xbox One X. Oh god, rip.
That's
rip.
Faulty power cable.
That's unfortunate.
That's rough.
My PS5 has been fine though. I mean,
yeah, so far too. Like for me, like well, then again, I'm playing performance mode, so it may not impact me the same way. So
I'm well. I guess we'll report back and we'll find out.
Yeah.
We could have matching scorch marks.
But I think
no.
Matching scorch marks. Ooh.
I'm gonna have more than just a scorch mark.
Oh my god. I was gonna say so far, really, like I think Final Fantasy 16 could be in the conversation. I think I'm trying to think of the games that have actually released this year. Abraham said, "Sounds like the Switch running Nier Automata." You know what's really funny? You know what's really funny? You know what's really funny about that statement? Nier Automata runs at a higher resolution on Switch than PS4 and Xbox One. You take that. Take that into consideration. Yes, it only runs 30 frames. It only runs it at base 30 frames. It doesn't run at 60 like the other ones do. But it looks clear.
That's fucking hilarious.
which is wild to me. Absolutely wild to me.
Kingdom Hearts, where you at?
There's a little bit more texture pop-ins, yes. But again, it still looks clear, like somehow, some way. I believe PS4 and Xbox One run it at 900p, not 1080. Which, I mean, I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt, but that's what I've been told. That's what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, I think Final Fantasy 16 is definitely in the conversation for Game of the Year. Zelda's probably the Game of the Year, but there are definitely other games this year coming out that might be in the conversation for sure.
I think one of the key things is like these specific conversations that we have about like these games. How excited are we to talk about like said thing, and for how long can we? Because with Zelda, it was really just, it's a matter of like personal experimentation and discovery and sharing that with people who have like very different ones versus, you know, and this may not be like what sets it in stone, especially with 16. 16 is like a very specifically like outlined like narrative that everyone like kind of just takes.
There really hasn't been any other game this year to match Zelda though. In terms of like what it's trying to push, like, gaming forward, and I think like Final Fantasy that's the closest one I can think of as of right now released. That's the thing. Switch had Zelda already, but PlayStation and Xbox haven't had their big game yet this year. Nothing's had their big games this year. I mean, Starfield's what I think will be in the conversation. Obviously, we don't know until we play it, right?
Yeah.
I think Starfield's going to be part of the conversation. I think Spider-Man 2 is going to be part of that conversation. And I do think, surprisingly enough, I actually think Baldur's Gate 3 might be part of the conversation.
Oh yeah.
I've been seeing a lot about it.
Baldur's Gate 3 is a big deal. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 were considered PC darlings, and they were originally created. Mark, do you know who made them?
I feel like I've heard this. I've heard this before. I just can't remember who did it.
I'll give you a hint. They also developed Ass Effect. It's Mass Effect. It's Mass Effect.
Whoa!
No, it's Mass Effect.
When that bidet hits a little too good. Oh!
Unofficial intended purpose.
Yep. I was gonna say Mass Effect. So BioWare, it was the original developers for those two games. This one is not being made by BioWare. This one is being developed by Larian Studios. They did Divinity Original Sin.
Oh my god, that one, huh?
Yeah, they did a Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2. So like, take that with a grain of salt. They're gonna do really good. And Baldur's Gate 3 is shaping up to be like another big Western RPG. So that's
gonna be interesting to see.
So that might be part of the conversation. At least from what I'm seeing is going to be part of the conversation. I would love if Mario Wonder made it, but it ain't going to make it. Not for Game of the Year conversation.
Yeah,
that might be my Game of the Year. That might be my personal game.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like, in what way would it, like, hypothetically? And I'm trying to think, giving it like legitimate chance, because like what I saw of Mario Wonder was like really spectacle.
Pushing the 2D platformer forward. I don't know how you would.
In a way, I guess yeah. Maybe the category will just be pushing that genre forward.
But this is also Mario, right? Like Mario is the platformer mascot to push the genre. It's always been.
True that.
And 2D Mario has been stale for basically almost 20 years. It's been 17 years. That's crazy to think that it's been 17 years since New Super Mario Brothers. Ridiculous that it's taking this long.
Yeah, I wonder what. Well, I mean, I guess for the most part, it feels like, from my perspective, that they were really pushing it, like, a lot because it was doing well.
But, yeah, I guess we'll see what actually happens this year. But I do think at the very bare minimum, Spider-Man 2, Starfield, and Baldur's Gate 3 might be big talks for Game of the Year.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Spider-Man. Come on, Spider-Man.
I think so. Before we go into other things,
pickups.
I don't really know how much. Yeah, I got some pickups.
Bill's pickups of the week.
Here we go.
I got two on the board today. Both are Switch games. Oh, I want to give an update.
I want to give an update
on my limited run order.
Oh, yeah.
They got back to me, and they were very nice.
Okay.
And they were very helpful, and they're gonna send me a replacement for Power Slave Exhumed.
All right.
Free of charge.
You're
And they're
dealing
letting
with
me
wholesome
keep.
everyone.
And they're letting me keep that second copy of Demons of Astaborg. So
Ooh.
I just have a sealed copy of Demons of Astaborg sitting here.
Uh-oh.
So that's cool. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet.
Giveaway.
Might sell it. Might do a giveaway. I'm not sure yet. We'll see.
To a friend in need.
We'll see. Anyways, well, I got 2 pickups though for Switch.
Okay, here we go.
One was a gift. One's a gift from my wife, and the other is I almost forgot to talk about this game as Game of the Year. So there you go. We're about to get to that. But I got the gift from my wife is this bad boy, and it's a small indie game. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it. It's been around for just like a little bit, but it's called Sonic Origins Plus.
Oh, that's a new one. I never heard of it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah.
It looks nice though. It looks pretty retro-esque inspired.
Yeah, a little bit. So
Little
if
bit.
anybody doesn't know what Sonic Origins is in general, it is the original classic Sonic series. But they're not emulated. They are straight up. They're actual ports. So like they actually built them on the retro engine, which is the same engine that Sonic Mania uses. And the problem is that these already existed on mobile. So they took the mobile ports, updated those, and then put them onto a console. So you're getting Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles for the first time since its re-release on Xbox Live Arcade back in the day.
Oy.
And Sonic CD, all remastered in 16 by 9 widescreen, 60 frames per second, which they already were 60, but they're stable as hell now.
Gotcha. Roger.
Magic.
Yeah, all the content that you can possibly ask for those games. There's been a lot of nitpicks and a lot of talks about this collection, with myself included. So I after playing it for a bit, I do want to set some of the record straight. Yes. They did have to remove the Michael Jackson music from Sonic 3.
No.
Justin is in shambles.
It's so good.
Now, granted, it's only 3 levels.
But they were so good. Sorry.
I mean, you're not wrong. Ice Cap Zone music slaps. They got rid of Carnival Night, Ice Cap, and Launch Base, which is all from Sonic 3. I will say, like, the new music's not bad, but it's not amazing either. Like, I believe it's James Sonoe, the dude from Crush 40. Like, he took a real Genesis sound chip and tried to actually make the prototype music through it. And so it sounds okay. It's fine.
You said prototype music, and I just thought of the game Prototype.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, 1 and 2 are good. I like those.
Those are the only ones there are.
They're both good. So
and they're good, so we're good.
But the collection's good. I do think it's weird that Sonic 3 and Knuckles is presented as one game. I understand that that's the point, right? Because there were the lock-on carts back in the day, so I get that. But it's kind of weird that I don't have the option to just play Sonic 3 or just play Sonic and Knuckles. I have to play them as one game.
Yeah.
Granted, that's how I always play them. But little weird that you can't just go straight into the Sonic and Knuckle levels. You have to actually like actively play through all 3 then to get to the Knuckles levels. Sonic CD has both the soundtracks, the American and the Japanese one. Thank God the Japanese one is god tier. And apparently they brought back the lyrics to the intro, which is cool. The weird ass Tutu Sonic Warrior, Tutu Sonic Warrior. I was like, yo, they brought that back. Let's go. I don't know how they didn't have the license to that, but they did it. It's in here. I think they're good ports. My only complaint back in the day was it didn't have a physical copy.
True.
Well, now it does. So here we are.
It's forgiven now. Well,
the one thing I do want to bring up that is relevant and new is Plus. It's the Plus part of this.
Oh, what's What's Plus about it?
So the plus part is that they added Amy as a playable character to all of the games. So she's a brand new character.
Nice.
And then they added Knuckles in Sonic CD, which was not a thing. They didn't make that a thing because he wasn't in the original, but that doesn't make any sense because he wasn't in the first game either. But they made him play.
But they just did it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but they put him in Sonic CD, so you can play as him now.
Cool.
So that means every game has all 4 of the playable characters. It's all equal now. On top of that, they put all 12 of Sonic's Game Gear games on here.
12.
Oi. Now, to kind of talk about that controversy, I understand that there were Master System versions of those games, and those would have been better for sure, because those have a bigger like aspect ratio. But like, I don't know, America didn't really get the Master System stuff. So I guess to kind of just like even it out for everybody, it's the Game Gear. And also, people are upset about the sound quality. Let me tell you, you should be a little upset about the sound quality.
It's tell you, like, you're slightly justified.
Just slightly. Look, listen, the Game Gear didn't have the best sound chip in the world, right? It was mono. It was like one tiny speaker, and it like sounded like crap. But they tried to emulate that sound, and oh my god, I had to turn down my sound bar.
Ooh.
This shit was loud. I was like, ew. I turned that down real quick. It had like a weird echo vibe to it. Ooh.
Oh no.
Had some reverb. Had some weird reverb going on. I was like, what is this? But the games themselves, I mean, they're Sonic Game Gear games. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Let me see if I can just Sonic Blast through them real quick. 8-bit Sonic 1, good game. 8-bit Sonic 2, good game. Sonic Chaos, good game. Sonic Triple Trouble, good game. Sonic Blast, pretty garbage. Sonic Drift, it's alright. Sonic Drift 2, it's alright. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, that's just Puyo Puyo. You can't lie to me.
Puyo Puyo.
What was the other ones? Sonic Spinball, Game Gear. Why? That game sucks. Tails Sky Patrol. I need to put more time into that one. I kind of liked it, but I wasn't really like in love with it. I need to put more time into to see where I fall with that one.
All right.
It's like a 2D side scrolling shoot 'em up. Kind of weird.
Huh.
But your Tails. I don't know. Tails Adventure, great game. That's probably one of the best Game Gear games on there. And then I feel like Sonic Labyrinth. All right, well those are the 12 games. Yeah.
All right.
Pretty all right. I did notice that they added 2-player, so like you can have two screens going on at once on one TV.
Cool.
So you can play official 2-player stuff. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, honestly, for $40, and the physical comes with the art book.
It's pretty solid.
Pretty solid. Not a bad collection. I picked this up. My big gripe though is that the plus content is download only.
Yeah.
Yikes! There's a code in here. Disgusting. Sega. Not even Sonic Mania Plus had a code. How dare you?
Damn.
Oh,
that reminds me of something. But go ahead.
And then my last pickup, which I think personally is going to be better than Zelda Game of the Year.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, really. And I think all of you can agree once you see it, because I think I couldn't get enough of this. This is, without a doubt, my personal Game of the Year so far, and this is Everybody Want to Switch.
All right.
You have no idea how much you've been memeing this in the chats.
Yeah, I can see. I can see. It's honestly, everyone 1, 2, 3 on the Switch could possibly win it all. It's got everyone in it.
It's got everybody.
Everyone is here.
It's got 1, it's got 2, and it's got Switch, dude. It's got everybody. Oh, okay. Look, in all seriousness, listen. In all legitimate,
let me cook.
In all legitimate seriousness, right?
Okay.
When I picked this up and when I heard about this, or let me give you guys some context about what this is. This was the rumored 1-2 Switch sequel that was apparently been done since early last year. This has already been a thing that they had completed early last year. But it tested so horribly internally at Nintendo that they just did not want to release it. Like they swear, like they swore they were just like tossing this around like some cheap horror on a Saturday night. Like it was crazy. Like Nintendo just did not want anything to do with this game. So they waited to where there was a good break in between games to drop this. Literally, like they announced it at the beginning of June, and then they just kind of dropped it at the end of June. Like this wasn't even part of the direct. The trailer for this happened the day before the direct. They wanted to make sure that this game was not part of it. Having actually tried it yesterday, I actually played a good 20-minute match with my wife. I told her I needed a second player. And she was like, Jesus Christ, all right, fine, I'll do it. I can actually say...
They were right to not do it.
I kind of like this game. I don't know if I'm like in love with it, right? Because it's a casual Nintendo party game. But it is better than I thought it was going to be. I gave it a lot of shit when I really like originally saw it, and Horace still creeps the hell out of me. But that's his name, by the way, the Horace the horse.
Horace.
But it has 17 mini games compared to 28 on the original.
Huh.
It's a cheaper price point than the original. The original was $50. This is a $30 release.
Price still is it at that time.
Horus is Ra's son in Egyptian mythology.
Jesus Christ. But the mini games that I was playing on here, they're actually good. I think the reason why I like this one so much more, it's because it's catered for parties more than it actually is for like two people staring at each other the whole time. 1-2 Switch is definitely more of a, hey, 2 Joy-Cons, all right, 2 people can play and do these weird mini games together. This is meant for everybody. It's in the title, right? This is actually meant for up to 100 people to play with you. And there are mini games that consist of Joy-Cons only. There are mini games that consist of your smartphone only. There are a mix of both. It's got an interesting variety. You actually have to unlock the mini games. You can't just like simply pick them. They have to show up randomly, like as like kind of like Mario Party, where like if you for the first time playing it, you know everything's like question mark.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Oh boy.
So you have to actually have them open and played for the first time for you to be able to just freely select it. And that's actually kind of interesting because then that means it's replay value and it wants you to keep playing. I don't know how long people will play this for, granted. But I kind of want to try this in an actual party like setting.
Yeah, I'd be down for it.
This might be a hit. I think this might be a hit with the party setting because I busted out 1-2 Switch before the party and we played it for like an hour and then we were like, well, that was stupid fun, and then we went back to Mario Kart or Smash. I don't remember, but
it's probably.
Yeah. Oh no, we went to Mario Party Superstars. That's what we did. This though has potential to be a really good party game, which is exactly what it's meant for. So like take this with a grain of salt. It's good if you are looking for a party game and nothing more. It is a very Jackbox style game too with your phone connectivity. There's like bingo on here.
Oh.
Huh? There's like a quiz thing. There's a mini game on here where you have to use your phones, and it asks you to take a picture of something with the same color that matches on the screen. And that's really hard to do because it's like, well, look at the setting you're in. Do you even have anything like that?
I was gonna say that could be really bad too.
Yeah, and so like everyone's running around trying to find. So like, Katrina and I were just like, fuck, I don't have anything with this color. We're like running around the house looking for something. Yeah, it was good. It's frantic. It's much more engaging than it was the original. So by all intents and purposes, this does exactly what a sequel needs to do. Be better than the first game. But it's still 1-2 Switch, so take that with a grain of salt. I don't think it's the worst game in the world, is what I'm trying to say.
All right.
It's not as bad as we thought it was going to be. So I have a little bit of love. I have a little bit of love for like the Wii era style games.
I get that. The motion control is like really strong in that one.
Actually vary. There's like the pump one. It takes the same kind of idea from like Mario Party where you're pumping the balloon to try to pop it.
Yeah.
The difference is you have to look at each other and be like, okay, how much pumps do I want without it exploding? You want it to be the biggest balloon without it exploding.
Mm.
And so it's like a mind game. So I like Katrina won, by the way. I kept fucking up. But I was just like, every time I looked at it, I was just like, and it went up. And she's just like, oh, really? Bet. And I was like, I don't want to do this.
I can't, Katrina. Please stop.
No, there's no more. And it's also team based. So, like, the teams of, like, depending on how many people you have, it's 2 teams. Now, I do want to bring up the streamer effect for this game.
Okay.
Because Game Explain did this. And apparently, because of the phone connectivity and it's a QR code you just have to scan on, you can stream this from your own home by yourself, and all your viewers can play with you.
That's good.
Like Jackbox.
As it must be.
Yes, but like you would assume it's not, because there's a lot of motion going on and there's a lot of like actual activity you have to do. As long as they're looking at your screen, they can participate and play.
Huh.
Now, granted, that comes with a lot of caveats. How much delay is there going to be between you and that screen?
True.
But they were playing. They did it. And I was watching Good Vibes Gaming as well, and they did it too. And apparently it was a hit.
That's good.
So this game might have a lot more presence on streamers than I thought.
Or like during a convention of sorts, would you say?
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
This is one of those weird Nintendo games. Like, it's just so fascinating. This is why I love collecting like this kind of weird shit, because it's such a fascinating game, dude.
It's such a fascinating study.
It pretty much, like, it's like, what the fuck? Like, why though?
Why do you all want this?
Yeah, I'm just like, wow.
Who are you people?
Who are you?
Weird. People? But you know what? It's fun. It's a fun talking piece to my Switch collection, and I'm happy to have it. I mean, I like how it looks like year one again, right? Of the Switch. We have a new Zelda. We got a new 1-2 Switch.
Oh, I didn't even consider it.
A new Mario.
That's wild. Full circle.
Yeah, it's the full circle. It's the full complete circle of the Switch. It's crazy. So, not mad.
Yeah.
Not mad that we picked it up.
If anything, I'm glad that they're taking controls, or at least fully utilizing the Joy-Con stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's funny, like, you don't really get a lot of motion control games with the Joy-Cons.
Yeah. I think it's mainly because it falls on first party to kind of do that.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, you would think like a lot more Wii ports or other things like that show up. I don't know, like, it's weird. Like, they have the motion in the controllers. I have played several games using only the Joy-Con motions. Like, Captain Toad plays better when you have the Joy-Con split up and you're using one like a Wiimote.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Mario Galaxy in the 3D All-Stars collection. I could not play that with a Pro Controller. It pissed me off. I had to use the Joy-Cons and play it like a Wii game, because I was like, this makes more sense to me. The World Ends With You is also the same kind of pointer and click kind of style.
Interesting.
When you play on TV. Not Neo, The World Ends With You. Just the regular.
Just regular, yeah.
Yeah. Switch Sports, that's often thrown in the parties here. We'll play bowling, and yeah, we use motion. It's fun. So it's kind of weird that we don't have too many games with motion in it. Even some of the more party games that everyone's picking up, Super Mario Party is the only one that really has motion control mini games. Mario Party Superstars doesn't. So
yeah, that's weird.
I don't know. I do not know.
It's one of those things you have to keep consistent, and with like motion control stuff, like that's a whole different system than just simply like playing on like a regular Pro controller or something like that. So how do you like cater to that audience? It kind of depends on the game. Like something like Zelda, for example, can adopt that type of thing because it is about like there's points of just like aiming stuff, but there's also moments where you're just not even doing that. So with that one, it kind of works.
I'm not sure if a game like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom can handle motion, but more like Skyward Sword HD. That was already built for the Wii.
That was true. And I think
the motion controls work for that one.
Yeah. And I would say that like games like that kind of like I think handle a little bit better when it came down to motion controls, and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are just kind of like secondhand motion controls, like it was just considered. I like granted I still use that. I still use motion controls when like aiming stuff because sometimes it's just about like the very subtle like adjustment.
Yeah.
Or Splatoon also is pretty good too.
I was gonna say Splatoon, right? Because I was gonna say motion right now currently is really just your controller and you're just doing this.
Yeah.
It's really not much. Yeah, it's not actually like moving around and swinging your arms around. Like it's more like just this now.
Mm-hmm.
It's really mostly for aiming.
I guess considering what the Joy-Con is, and maybe sometimes how much of a hassle Joy-Con rails can be, it's like, let's just not have them do too many range motions here.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I was enjoying 1-2 Switch, or everybody 1-2 Switch. So
everyone.
I need to put a little bit more time into it. Definitely not gonna play it on my own. So it's just a matter of whenever I can bust it out, and we'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, Mark, you haven't been on this podcast in like a while. I wanted to ask you, what was the hypest thing at the Xbox conference for you? I need to know, Mr. Xbox.
Mr. Xbox.
The hypest thing there for me personally?
Not including Starfield. Don't include Starfield. That doesn't count.
Mr. Xbox Wide.
Trying to think.
Because obviously Starfield is the hypest thing there, right? Like,
it's true.
Hold on, let me look up what was announced again.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think back on like some ones out like I did actually like. Honestly, I think the fact that Sega and Sega Atlas like had a presence there, and I am like curious about like the RPG stuff.
Favorite thing. I did like the look. I really did like the look of the new game that Atlas is working on, and
the new one.
Yeah.
That
Metaphor Di Fantasio.
Yeah,
something
that looked
like
really good. Star Wars Outlaws looked really
good.
Oh
yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah, Star Wars Outlaws did look pretty good. I ain't gonna lie there.
Sea of Thieves, Legend of Monkey Island looks good.
Oh.
Is that update out already?
It's like the end of July, I think.
Nice.
It's at the end of July. You and
I think you might finally get me to play that game. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh.
What, play Sea of Thieves?
Yes.
We're gonna get a 3-man crew.
I kind of want to experience that Secret of Monkey Island stuff. I really like that series, so I'm like,
If Pirates of the Caribbean wasn't enough, Tale of Monkey Island is.
I'm a boomer. What do you want from me?
I'm a boomer.
I'm actually not a boomer, but yes, I like Secret of Monkey
That's
Island.
What they all say.
That's what they all say. No.
Okay,
oh.
What was I gonna say? Really, I liked Clockwork Revolution. That game looks super good.
That's cool. Yeah.
I was really wondering what In Exile was working on. That's actually one of my rabbit holes that I've been exploring. I've been exploring more and more of like Xbox companies, especially with the leaks that are coming out of that studio or out of the court case about different acquisitions that might have happened.
Oh yeah.
And it's like when I started looking at that list, I was like, dude, a lot of these have a lot of history with Xbox.
It's like they were like, we miss you, come back.
Yeah, like
baby, come back.
Like the company People Can Fly. I was like,
you can blame it all on Sony.
That company does have a lot of history with Xbox. They made Gears of War Judgment. Outriders was promoted on Xbox. Like that makes a lot of sense.
I know people Can Fly worked on Judgment. That's what my brother worked on.
Oh yeah.
What was the other game they developed? Bulletstorm?
Yes, I remember that.
Kill with some skill.
Kill with some skill.
So
honestly, underrated game.
Yeah, it's very good. But I've also been recently looking into a lot of Obsidian's games because Avowed looks really good, and man, their profile is so wild to just dig deep into. It goes into Baldur's Gate, like, like I'm like, huh?
Wild.
It's very wild, dude. Xbox is becoming like the console for Western RPGs, which is a really interesting thing to have.
And they're trying to get more into JRPGs.
They're definitely trying to reach out to that market, and you could see that in this previous presentation.
Not only that, when you see what they were trying to do, like what they were trying to thought about acquiring, although it's for their mobile game market, they were trying to acquire Square Enix, where I was like, bro, that would have been fucking hilarious.
Dog, they were trying to acquire Square Enix and Sega. I was like, what the fuck?
Honestly, with them keeping Final Fantasy from Xbox, I think the funniest shit would have been just to acquire Square Enix.
It would have been pretty funny.
I would have been in tears.
I don't know if that would have been good for Square Enix per se,
but it would have been funny.
It would have been funny, but then that would have been Square Enix probably going with a lot of struggles down the road, especially because Xbox does not sell in Japan.
Well, that's the thing. They're trying to get into the Japanese market more.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that would help.
But... And I think they're getting there.
Yeah, I think because for a while the Series X was selling very well in Japan.
The Series S is selling well in Japan.
Yeah, which is why I think it's really good that they decided to do something with the Series S as far as an upgrade.
That's actually probably why they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Series S is doing good because of Game Pass. It is exactly what I wanted it to be. It's the Game Pass machine.
The Game Pass machine.
The Game Pass machine.
Tell me no otherwise, Mark. Come on.
No, I'm still just thinking how hilarious it would be. They're just like keeping Final Fantasy from Xbox, and the biggest fuck you would just be to buy the damn company.
I mean, that's kind of that's the funny.
Be too mad.
It's the funny thing with Bethesda and whatchamacallit. Oh my god, why am I blanking on them? I always blank on them. Obsidian
says normies and JRPGs that normies with Japanese role-playing games will not mix. That's not true. Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy 7 is a very big normie game.
Yep.
It's great.
It's one of my favorites. Call me normie, I don't care.
Can't wait for Rebirth, actually.
Nah.
I know, Rebirth, I'm honestly very excited.
Final Fantasy in general is like a very normie RPG. Like,
especially these days now. It's true. Now that you think about it, it's like,
And Dragon Quest is not
quite.
It's getting there.
Yeah, it's getting there.
It's got a cult following here in America.
Yeah, and 11's really helped with that too.
What I've really noticed that's been taking off around here is the Like a Dragon series.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everyone and their mother's playing Yakuza.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like the new one looks good, Infinite Wealth. I was like, holy shit, I'm in there. That's what I wanted.
He's in there like swimwear.
And then obviously everyone here is a Persona fan, so like, I don't know, like that's pretty normie nowadays.
They and if anything, like obviously there's been like cult followings, but I think as of recent of the past decade, you do see like specific titles that stand out that have like really paved that way. Like Persona 5's everywhere.
Persona 5 in particular really is like, what was it? Wasn't it like the 5th best-selling PlayStation game of all time? A PS4? I could have sworn. It was number 2 for a while. It was right behind God of War 2018.
That's wild.
For a long time. For a long time. And then Spider-Man came out. And I think Spider-Man became like number 1.
My favorite RPG.
Spider-Man.
Oh my god.
Spider-Man's actually my favorite anime. I love the Lisa opening.
Shut the fuck up.
You know that they just made two new Spider-Man mangas, actually.
It's true.
Mark, Shut the fuck up.
Why are you booing me? I'm saying facts.
この名前はピーター・パーカー。スパイダーマンだ。
Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
It's wild.
What the?
They're eating it up over there. I'm happy for them.
Oh,
Yep.
dude, Japan fucking loves Spider-Man.
But yeah, I don't know. I do think Xbox is making the strides for Japanese RPGs, but I feel a little bit more attached to my Xbox because Western RPGs, like you don't really get a lot of those. That's why I'm surprised Baldur's Gate 3 is skipping Xbox and going for PlayStation.
Are you sure? Because I feel like we get a lot of Western RPGs.
Xbox gets a ton. Like and they make more sense. I don't know. Xbox really like pushes like Western style RPGs more, and that's cool because there's a market for that. I want that because I'm so used to playing like my Japanese RPGs like all the time on PlayStation and Nintendo, but there's always room for me to want to play Skyrim, and there's always room for me to want to play like
Skyrim is probably the biggest Western RPG.
Oh my god, dude.
well, any of the Bethesda Game Studios games, Fallout,
specifically Skyrim,
Fallout, Starfield's next, like those are
man,
huge. Dude. Obsidian is literally nothing but Western RPGs. It's like
The Witcher.
It's their kit.
other than Grounded.
CD Project Red.
Yeah, CD Project Red is
Go
a
play
Western RPG. What's the other ones? In Exile is nothing but Western RPGs. Wasteland, Bard's Tale. They're doing Clockwork Revolution. Yeah.
Fable.
Yeah, I was curious about Fable.
Fable. That's a big one. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a ton of Western style RPGs on Xbox that I'm gonna start looking into, picking up, and really sitting down with them. They sound good. They sound fun. Like, did you know that there was HD ports of the first two Baldur's Gate games?
Huh?
I didn't know.
Huh?
It's like a collection, yeah.
Cool.
There's a collection of those. And yeah.
Would you consider Diablo a Western RPG?
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking about that one.
Diablo is a Western action RPG, yes.
Cool.
Same with like Minecraft dungeons.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Japanese RPGs are more like it's hard. It's not just you can't just say Japanese RPG, right? Because Sea of Stars is a Japanese RPG, but it's not being made by a Japanese team.
Right. So it's like, it is interesting.
It's an interesting way of saying it because it's this very specific style of RPG. It's like these like it's not very choice driven, I guess is what it is. They're not very choice driven in like their stories. A lot of Western RPGs is very like they give players a lot of choice in their dialogue options and whatnot,
which is great.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Western RPGs are much more open ended, where Japanese RPGs follow a very specific structure.
Yeah, I was trying to think of it like as far as like just like I guess the guts, like the actual like in-game like stuff you can like control, as far as like stats and stuff like that. Growing that character, but also dialogue options is part of the character. But I think of it like more about the number crunching for that, which is there's quite a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there really was that much other than the
What's going on?
We got new Sega Genesis games this week.
Oh yes. Okay. Cool.
We did get those. Yeah.
This lineup was actually really interesting.
It was very good. Let me save my Zelda right now, and I'm gonna open up this Genesis app. I was playing Zelda on the side.
How could you?
Because god damn it, I want to finish this game.
That's fair.
Just finished this game already, man.
But I don't want to rush it. I'm gonna take my time. I like that game more. But we got 4 new Genesis games added to the NSO, and holy crap, dude, that was a fucking update. Like, That was one hell of an update. All four
So,
of those were certified bangers, dude. There was not a single bad game on that list. One of them is the most expensive North American copy or physical copy. So thank you for whoever at Nintendo was like, we got to put that on there. Finally, thank you. I don't have to track down a copy of that anymore. Let me start
here. Let's see if we can get that
I
listing.
got them right here. But
Okay.
I'm gonna start with this bad boy. Let's do it. I'm gonna do it in the order I did the stream, from like my least to the best. So we got Landstalker, and that's a very good isometric action RPG. The controls are a little weird to get used to because you don't move up, down, left, and right. You're moving in diagonals the whole time. But if you get used to the movement, it's really fun. It's got a lot of puzzles you got to learn how to solve, a lot of trial and error. But it is a Genesis classic. I don't know how much there's else to say to it. It's very fun. Got a lot of funny writing. I forget that a lot of the writing back in the day is very humorous for American, like when they translated it. Got a lot of American like jokes and like the way they talk. I'm like, huh, interesting. Then we got Capcom's Ghouls and Ghosts, which, I mean, damn, that's a certified hood classic. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that game. That game is fantastic. It's the sequel to Ghosts and Goblins, the original. The Genesis port was made by Sonic Team, or I believe somewhere in Sega. It was internally developed by Sega. And the Genesis port is fantastic. It's as close to the arcade as you're gonna get. So good game. Tough game. That game will beat your ass, but it's good. Revenge of Shinobi. I don't even know what else to say about that. That's a staple. That's a Genesis staple game. Music by our boy Yuzo Koshiro, so you already know that soundtrack is goated. The gameplay is great. It's just a really good 2D platformer or 2D action game. Very fun game. And the one I was alluding to earlier, the most expensive North American physical card to exist right now. A loose cart's like $800. Inbox cart's like $2,000. Crusader of Senti, which was released like at the very tail end of the Genesis's life. It is the only Zelda style game for the console. It definitely is a Zelda style clone. But it's this very interesting one where it deals with like spirits and animals, like your animals like are your powers and your abilities. So, and you get to talk to animals only. It's pretty interesting. I played it for a while on stream, and I was getting into the groove of it, but I was also getting tired, so I had to stop.
Oh no!
But I got pretty okay into it. I haven't got to the first dungeon yet. I wanted to get to a dungeon, but it's really good, dude. That game's great. The music's really solid. The graphics are really crazy for a Genesis game. Like I was seeing effects on there. I was like, whoa. Like for a Sega Genesis, that's crazy. Like graphics, I didn't think you could do anything better than like maybe Castlevania Bloodlines or like the Phantasy Star games. But man, that's good. Good update. That's a very good update. I saw a post where someone was like, I wish they treated the NES and Super Nintendo stuff like they do the Genesis stuff. And I'm like, y'all forget one thing. We're paying a higher tier for the Genesis stuff. It's part of your $50 tier. So I expect them to put actual good Genesis games on here and not just throw things that they can find. Plus, the Genesis has a huge library that's not done yet. This is barely scratching the surface of what's on here. Like they still don't have Sonic, at least Sonic 1. That's not on here. They don't have Sonic 3D Blast. They don't have Phantasy Star 2 and 3. They don't have Streets of Rage 1 and 3. They have 2, but not 1 and 3. They don't have the second Toe Jam and Earl game. What is it? Back in the Groove? Yeah, that one. There's still Thunder Force 3 and 4. Like, there's so many other games they can put on here. They're not even done. Golden Axe 3 is still missing. I really hope they don't put Echo the Dolphin 2, but they probably will.
They probably will. Just wait.
I hate my life, but that's okay. Columns 3. I don't know why you would put another Columns game on here, but Columns 3, you know? Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Those are good Genesis games. Hype. I want more. But notice that they added recently an NES game, a Super Nintendo game, some Game Boy games. Game Boy Advance got Fire Emblem. Genesis just got an update. 64's next, baby. Will we finally get Mario Party?
Nah, 2? GameCube. Let's go.
Yeah, you wish. That's why. Nah.
Super Smash Bros. Melee. Oh my god.
I think they're just porting the GameCube games. They're not just gonna like the Pikmin 1 and 2 re-release or Metroid Prime Remastered. I think that's more the telltale sign that that's how they're gonna do GameCube games. Is they're gonna use those for remasters.
I'll take that.
But there's still 4 64 games we don't have that are confirmed. It's Mario Party 3, 1080 degree snowboarding, Excitebike 64, and Pokemon Stadium 2.
Stadium 2, baby, which now I'm kind of sad with it now.
I mean, Stadium 1 just came out. I don't know if
it's not
Stadium 2 immediately.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
And I also don't think they'll do Mario Party 3 immediately. I think they're going to wait a little bit on that one, which sucks. I want Mario Party 3 the most, but they'll probably give us 1080 degree snowboarding, and we're going to like it.
Oh, I like it.
That game has a pretty good soundtrack. It's got that one song that's in Smash. It's the
Okay, you got me.
Yeah. I forgot what it's called, but I think it's like the Golden Forest. Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, what else was there this week?
Well, just a lot of like personal stuff.
Nice.
I can't really like go in too far in depth, but it was like an employee appreciation thing going on at work, and I was like, "Thank you, appreciate like the gift that you just gave me into my account."
Nice.
So it's like, thank you. I know that Phil, you kind of like brushed up on it with just like all the games that just like came into your library all of a sudden. But I know you were kind of struggling this week as well.
Yeah, I've had a very bad week, but really just the last bad 2 weeks. But yeah, thankfully,
nowhere else to look it up.
Yeah. I'm trying to take it day by day, but
yeah, for sure.
I almost thought about just canceling Everybody Wants to Switch because I was just like, I don't need to pick this.
Yeah, I don't.
I was like, it's like I really don't need to, but I was just like, I had to skip out on Final Fantasy 16. And then I was like, so I guess I'll pick up something. I don't want to waste my $5 off this month.
Yeah. You were going to cancel everyone 1-2 Switch, and then all of a sudden the Akira meme like popped in. Boom! Akira!
It's this Horus the whole time.
It's Horus. He's like,
yep. He's just like, ding. Ding, Akira.
Ding.
Shakira.
My wife is the best, and she got me Sonic Origins Plus.
I would say put a ring on it, but you already did.
I already did.
You know the next step.
You are.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
You got this, Phil. You got this. You have the strength to do it. Do it for the boys.
For the boys.
Wait, I'm not asking for that. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
You want me?
You don't want to be.
You want me to be a godfather?
You want to be an uncle?
Anyways.
I'm already uncle.
But also I have some homies that work at my local GameStop, and They knew I had to cancel Final Fantasy 16, and
And
so one of them
that's
one
so
of them was
wild.
like,
They're like,
yeah,
nah,
one of them.
nah.
I'm not gonna give names or which one because that'd be messed up. But
Yeah.
just know that they may or may not have had an extra digital code lying around, and they were like, "Hey, no, I know you like physical copies, but you can at least play it." And I was just like, "Yeah, I could at least play it, yeah." So they gave me a free digital code for it. It's good. It's good.
That's
good
what I'm
time.
talking about. That's why it's so cool.
As soon as I finish Zelda, I'm gonna 100% pay attention to Final Fantasy 16. So, because I know that next month Katrina and I are picking up Pikmin 4. So
oh yeah.
I didn't play the demo.
I was gonna ask about that.
About it.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet.
I want to go in fresh, but
it is tempting though.
It is very tempting
because you can. I guess you can build your character at that point.
I heard word on the street is that this game literally retcons the entire series.
Oh my god!
Like, it's called Pikmin 4 just for the sake of being the fourth game. It doesn't actually follow the story.
It's like near the beginning of things, or just a rewritten.
It literally acts like as if Olimar was there for the first time. And I'm like, but that would have been his fourth time. That's why it's called 4.
Oh.
So apparently it retcons like the entire series, and I'm like, that's so weird. Why would you need to retcon Pikmin?
It's Pikmin Combat 1.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, like it dead ass retcons the thing. I haven't played it, right? This is all from what I'm hearing. But like Pikmin doesn't have like the deepest story in the world.
Nah.
The most lore it has is that the Earth, or the place that they're inhabiting, is Earth. It's like an apocalyptic Earth. And so like they kind of play around with that notion, like there's caves, there's these grassy fields that taking over streets, and there's these real world items. And in the fourth game, there's a house you explore with like a kitchen area and stuff like that.
And there's a really clean looking Game Boy SP.
For some reason, there's a very clean looking Game Boy Advance SP. Yeah. So it's kind of weird that they decided to retcon the whole series. Maybe it's for newcomers.
Maybe.
But,
oh yeah.
But if that was the case, why even port 1 and 2? That's what I'm trying to get at. Because look, like number 1, Olimar crash lands on that planet. It's a mysterious planet to him. He discovers what are Pikmin, right? So like every day in game, he writes down in his journal, and you read his journal logs, and he's just like, they look like this pick fruit this pick carrots that I like at home. I'm gonna call them Pikmin. And then he he's literally writing out and researching the Pikmin and their studies and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In the second game, he goes back because his planet's in debt because his mayor is a fucking idiot.
Oh.
And spent all the money.
Son of a... Who spent $300 on Animal Crossing? Oh no.
That's literally the story. The mayor of his planet spent all this money and they are in debt. And so they send Olimar with a new guy, Louis, back to the planet to pick up treasure. That's the treasure that Olimar left there because he was like, no, this is this planet stuff. Nope, loot it.
Now I'm ordering you to loot the planet.
Yeah, and then the third game is Olimar goes missing with Louis, and then you play as a new team. It's Alf, Brittany, and Charlie, and then you end up crash landing on that planet as well.
I guess
everybody just it's like East, right? You're always washed up on shore somewhere. They're just always crash landing in this planet.
So unfortunate.
Yeah. So then you find out that Olimar's been alive, and then they just go in there. I don't know. They save him.
That's so wild.
There's no real reason to retcon this series. There's no real deep story. That's probably my only gripe. But other than that, it looks fun.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard some interesting things too. Like, for instance, you can't just have 100 Pikmin on the field anymore. that has to be unlocked. Like, has to be an upgrade.
Oh.
So like your max you can carry on you is 30,
Mm.
and then eventually you can carry 40, and then 50, and so on and so forth.
I see. Okay.
Also, Justin, word of advice.
What's going on?
I know that the dog was shown swimming in the game.
Yeah.
His name is Ochi. Do not immediately throw him in the water. He does not know how to swim. You have to teach him that.
Oh no.
They found that out in the demo.
So someone mucked around and found out.
So,
Oh. Mark!
Mark! Dun, 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 dun.
Someone threw him in the water. They found out.
Mark, are you still there? Mark.
It might be. He might have been summoned.
Oh yeah, but yeah. Don't throw the dog in the water. He doesn't swim yet. He's gonna drown.
He'll probably learn it then. Yeah, as most pups would.
Yeah,
To be fair,
apparently they chucked him in the water because in the trailer he just jumps in and swims.
Yeah.
No,
So
you have to teach Ochi these things. The things like for him to grab onto things and for him to help and stuff, you have to teach him these.
yeah.
So they're upgrades. They're abilities.
Gotcha.
So don't just chuck them into the water. It's like have you been seeing those videos of people for their first time playing Pikmin 1? People thought this game was a farming game.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Yeah, they don't really know it's a survival game.
It's a survival strategy game. Like you don't. They found that out very quickly when they threw red Pikmin in the water and they all drowned.
Yeah, like wait, why can't I? What's happening?
And they all like died, and I was like, these noobs. This feels like my first time playing when I did that.
I've only seen like postings of people like showing like, oh, you should definitely do this in the game for sure. Like nothing bad will come out of it. It's actually something really good will happen if you decide to like mess with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'll probably plan on getting like a physical copy, but I'm not like too impatient about like 1 and 2.
Do you have 3 physically?
Yeah. We got the deluxe one.
Have you played through the series before?
I did. Yeah, I played through
okay.
3, and I was like, okay, I get it. I get it now.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought you were very in the plot, like very blind going into this.
Yeah. So I think what I really liked about Pikmin 3 was like that aspect of like controlling separate characters. I know that's not the thing in the previous games, but in this case, just a swap between just felt like a lot more trying to do things like simultaneously to the extent you could as a single player person.
It isn't 2.
Oh, okay, cool. With
the mechanic is a thing they introduced in 2 with Olimar and Louis.
Okay. I think
so the first one is it's this game. This series is, in my opinion, one of the prime examples of a Nintendo series that always innovates itself the further and further it goes along. Right?
Yeah.
Pikmin 1, it's just Olimar, it's just him, and then there's only 3 types of Pikmin. There's water, the blue ones, which their abilities they're able to breathe underwater, but they're weak. The red ones are resistant to fire, but they're fighters, like they're stronger. And then yellow actually doesn't have the electricity attribute.
Oh, they don't. So they get thrown up high.
They get thrown up high, and they're the only ones able to carry bombs.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So when you go to 2, they give the yellow the electricity. They let any of them carry bombs, and then they give you purple Pikmin.
Like the really strong ones.
I'm starting to feel like a purple Pikmin. They're heavy and they're considered 10 Pikmin. 1 is considered 10 Pikmin.
Oh, the power of 10.
In terms of strength.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you need to move things, the 1 can carry up to 10 Pikmin's worth.
Cool.
And then white ones are poisonous, so they're able to withstand poison gases.
Interesting.
And then that one has Louis, so you're able to separate 2 separate teams. And then 3 takes that further because you have Alf, Brittany, and Charlie, and then they're able to separate the 3 different teams. And then they got rid of the purple and white Pikmin, kind of, because they're not in the story mode, but they're in the treasure mode and the boss mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is, if you've never played treasure mode, that's where your Pikmin skills need to come into play. Katrina and I did all the co-op, and we platinumed every single mission.
That's
Let me
wild.
tell you, we almost separated many times.
I
Pikmin 3 is wild, dude.
felt a lot of difficulty in Pikmin 3 when it came to the final level. And that's fair. That's fair because of just how the mechanics go into that. But like playing through it like stage by stage was definitely a cool thing just for me as a newcomer, like learning the mechanics and understanding like, okay, well how effective could I be if I did this, and just learning how to like split my mind between three people that was the challenge. And then the final one was really just like, all right, how do you be effective? Like how good are you with that? And how can you plan ahead for that? I did really like that last stage. That was actually really cool. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to Pikmin 4 and see what they want to do with that one. Or at least, rather, I think I'm really looking forward to like that perspective, because it really was like a top-down isometric type of perspective, and you don't feel like you're in that world. You feel like you're controlling the person who's observing the world, and that's their perspective. But now you get to share that just by like just a slight like change in that. I guess the only downside would be that you don't really have that like command of like the entire field. It's just whatever you see in front of you, which I don't mind. I
feel like that's going to be more exciting because you get to do a lot more visually interesting things with that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm excited. Pikmin 4 looks great. It looks great. I'm very excited to play it. It's also on the Unreal Engine, so
yeah, that's wild.
That's very wild. Yeah, no. Other than that, I think that's it.
Alrighty. Well, I
don't really think there's anything else.
Yeah, no. I'm kind of prepping for like what Bandai Namco has in store. Although I guess I should probably temper expectations. It'd probably be like one title I might be like really looking forward to. Everything else
probably just know that it's an Anime Expo presentation, so you're looking for anime style games. Maybe a Tekken character. Somebody brought this up on a YouTube video I was watching. If they were gonna do a Tekken character reveal today, it would be Lucky Chloe.
Oh, okay.
Lucky Chloe is like everything that anime is. So like,
yeah, the embodiment. Yeah, that actually is fitting.
So if they were gonna do something for Anime Expo for Tekken wise, it was probably gonna be Lucky Chloe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry, Anaya.
Damn.
I know he did not want her back in the game, but you know what? She's a fan favorite, dog. She's in there. But yeah.
All right.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. So, all right, guys. Well, good luck everyone for this month of July. Stay cool, please. Oh man, I'm still thinking about Comic-Con. I'll definitely talk more about that, like when it's around the corner. But all right, for now, we'll go ahead and call it here, guys. Appreciate everyone for tuning in for this episode of DangIT Prodcast. It's been episode 465. My name is Justin.
I'm Philip, and that was Mark earlier, but
this was Mark, but he had to go. And thanks for watching, everybody. #bye, everybody.